Hello everyone, welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. Last time I told you that we will be speaking about Mahadevi. We have been speaking about Mahadev, Shivji, but now we will speak of Mahadevi. In Hinduism, which is rich with heritage, with myriads of forms of God and many stories and folklore, we have a very rich tradition of knowing God as Mother. We have so many female goddesses, like Ganga, the river goddess, Shitla, the goddess of disease, Ragini, the goddess of the forest, who plays with snakes and who sings ragas. But we also have three major deities whom I think everyone in the world knows. We have Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is not the goddess of money as we would think. She's much bigger than that. She is the goddess of abundance. Now, abundance can be anything. It can be nature, it can be health, it can be emotions, well being. So, she is the goddess of abundance. We have Saraswati, who is not just the goddess of learning, she is not just the patron of the arts, she is the nurturer of the very soul. She is the goddess of Atmagyan. And then we have Durga, who is also called Shakti, and it is her whom we call Mahadevi. These three have something in common, which is, of course, that they are feminine. And two of them are known as goddesses by dint of their being married to a god. So Saraswati is a goddess because she is Brahmaji's consort. She is the Holy Mother. Brahmaji is the father of all gods. And Lakshmi is the wife of Vishnuji. So every time he takes an avatar, she also comes. And therefore, she completes this holy set of parents. But it is said of Durga, Mahadevi, that she is a goddess by her own right. In fact, Adi Shankaracharya's Smartism, which believes in 5 deities, has Durga in it. So she is a goddess in any case. And then on top of that, she gets married to a god, which is Shivji, to Mahadev, and she is therefore Mahadevi. And the only thing that she leaves as a trace of her very exalted persona is that she somehow chooses to be born as a princess in a large kingdom of a very big king. She was born as Sati to Prajapati Daksh, and then she was born as Parvati to Maharaj Himalay, the mountain king. And then somehow she seems to have this pattern of leaving those palaces and going away into the forests and mountains to do tapasya, penance, sadhana, meditation. Why? Because the person whom she wants to get married to, Lord Shiva, Mahadev, he is the yogi of yogis. So to please him, she wants to be a yogini as well. Now, Durga, if Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge and learning, and Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, Durga is the goddess of power. Now, what is power? Is it power to create? Is it power for this immense penance that she can do? For the tapasya she can do? Is it the power to slay demons and bad beings like Maheshasur and Bhairav? Or is it the power of utter humility? Being the primal goddess of all, Mahadevi has this amazing quality that she gets married to Shiva as an ordinary girl, a royal princess no doubt, but an ordinary girl. She likes to live her life as Sati or Parvati, the demure wife, and becomes Durga or Mahadevi only on special occasion, like at the Samudra Manthan. When Shiva had too much poison, she used her power to stop that poison. And she becomes Mahadevi again when there are very big asuras or demons who are spoiling the harmony of this universe. So, this is the enigma of Mahadevi, Parvati. And some of you who live in India must be knowing Vaishno Mata, Vaishno Devi, which is very near my town in Jammu. It is in Katra, and it is the Trikuta mountains, the three mountains, and for where everyone goes for the darshan of Vaishno Mata. And there is a great mystery there as well, a lovely mystery. Who is Vaishno Mata after all? Because we have all the three there, Lakshmi, Saraswati and Kali. So which one is she? And what is Mahadev's link with Vaishno Devi? Join me again here on Monday on the same channel to hear that story next time. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Jagdambe.